Hello, I'm Lisa Bowerman and I play Bernie Summerfield, and welcome to Audioheads podcast. And yeah.
Hello, this is the Pirate Weekend, the beginning of Pirate Weekend on Greeks Assemble YouTube channel. This is a first foray into the world of pirating with Treasure Island by Big Finish Audio, or by Hook or by Crook. Anyway, this is really an interesting piece of great audio work, and so I'd just like to give you a chance to hear what our reviewers have thought of this. And so let's go to Beef Dad to give you the lowdown on what this is and what it is to Beef Dad.
I've asked and belayed there, me hearty. Yeah, it's a full-length adaptation of Treasure Island. One of my favourite books as a child. With some rather unexpected people playing unexpected parts. I mean, Tom Baker was Long John Silver, and he was obviously having a ball doing it. But he also played Captain Flint, the Parrott. I think he had even more fun playing that, to be perfectly honest. Nicholas Pegg, well, Captain Smollett, Black Dog, Red Ruth, and Dick. He was brilliant, absolutely superb. Tony Haygarth playing Billy Bones and Morgan, but his Billy Bones was absolutely top-notch, a real class piece of pirating that. Loved it. Gareth Armstrong did Ben Gunn in Israel Hands. Well, Ben Gunn in Treasure Island has always been one of my favourite characters. I remember that when it was on in the West End stage, Ben Gunn was played by Spike Milligan, one of the giants of comedy, and he was just absolute magic in the part, especially when he started going on about cheese. Lots of other people. Nicholas Briggs played George Merry, the Lookout, Arrow, and the real Captain Flint. Barnaby Edwards as Squire Trelawney, new teeth. Squire Trelawney was everything that a squire should be. He sounded absolutely perfect. As I say, the casting of this was excellent. The narrator, Nicholas Farrell, did a brilliant job. It didn't sort of impinge too much. And young Edward Holton playing Jim Hawkins and young James was really, really good. Tony Millen, Dr. Livesey, Blind Pew and the First Mate. Well, he was superb as Blind Pew, and you would not believe that the same guy playing Dr. Livesey was playing Blind Pew. It really was very, very good. And they were all obviously having an absolute ball playing pirates. Excellent adaptation, absolutely nothing to criticize. Loved the soundscape on it. That was absolutely amazing. But then Big Finish are known for their soundscapes. They're absolutely superb. And I just loved every minute of it. It wasn't slow. There were no points where it slowed down, and you just wanted to hear more and more and more. I mean, it's not short, obviously. What is it? About 2.5 hours, and it's just, excuse me, it's just an absolutely excellent piece of audio work. Loved every minute of it, and it gets It gets a solid gold-plated 10 out of 10.
Right, a 10 out of 10 for Beef Dad. Thanks, man. And let's go to Texas Tim. What did you think of Treasure Island?
Well, I agree with Beef Dad quite a bit there. I mean, he pretty much covered everything. Going into it, I was a bit blind. This is a book that I probably read when I was a kid. I've probably seen several movies. I remembered most of the characters, but I didn't really remember much of the plot. So it was good for me. It was fun to listen to and hear the story again after so many years of, excuse me.
All right, let's go to Lee. What did you think, Lee?
Yeah, I remember doing this. I had to do this book at school, along with Lord of the Rings. But this one always stood out for me. And everybody, when you say Treasure Island, people, well, like me, ultimately think of Robert Newton as Long John Silver, who's Jim Lad. But Tom Baker as Long John Silver, he was, as Beef Dad said, he was having a ball. He put his heart and soul into this as Long John Silver and as the Parrott. It's everything I hoped it would be. I went into this as blind because I haven't read the book since school, and I haven't heard this one before. And the production on this is just awesome. As I say, all the actors in there are brilliant. Tony Haygarth as Billy Bones. I mean, I remember him back in the day in BBC comedy series Rosie, if you remember. The Brits will know it, yeah. But it's just, his Billy Bones was brilliant. We could get the black spot. You know, that scene brought it all back to me, all that. And Blind Pew, Black Dog. It's just brilliant. And you say the soundscape of this audio, you feel like you're on the sea. You feel like you're on the island. You feel like you're in that town when it is set. It's just awesome. I can't fault this. It's a Big Finish classic adaptation, and that's what it is. It's classic. I just can't say it. It's a 10.
Another 10 out of 10 for Lee. And Texas Tim is back, so let's go back to Tim and hear the rest of his review, please.
Well, needless to say, I enjoyed it very much. Like Jeff said, the cast is amazing. I know Nick Farrell for years now. He's in every Shakespeare film from the 1990s, practically. He's always good. I mean, you'll remember him also from Torchwood, Children of Earth. He was a rotten piece of work in that. Tom Baker is having the time of his life playing the Parrott, and it's just like you said, it's a lot of fun. It's wonderfully made. Big Finish is amazing at this. What they've done is taking a classic, I would say kids book, but maybe young adult book, and turned it into a masterpiece for audio. So yeah, I agree with him. It gets a 10 from me because it's that well made. I mean, it's amazing, fun. It was really fun to spend 2 hours in that world. And like Jeff also said, it leaves you wanting more. So good for them.
What would you rate it?
A big fat 10.
All right, that's 3 10s now, and my review is in agreement with everything that everybody said. I enjoyed Tom Baker. I enjoyed the Parrott. I enjoyed Long John Silver. I loved Squire Trelawney. I loved Jim. I loved the fact that Jim was played by two people, like a grown-up Jim telling the story, and then a young man Jim, a young boy. And so that was quite interesting and a different take. I liked the when they're at the shore, how rough and tumble the bar sounded. It was great. The tavern was rich in audio, and I just, got almost drunk The rum was flowing well then. It was great. Everybody take a drink. You gotta have a drink. Anyway, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 too. I think it was just phenomenal. And I want to do more, but I'm enjoying the beginning of Pirate Week here on Geeks Assembled. And so let's just talk. Let's have an open forum about this. But
well, the kid was amazing too. We recently covered a Doctor Who story on, it was totally let down by the child actor they used in it, and that's not the kid's fault. I mean, you never know what you're going to get, but this kid was really on point. He played actually two kids. He played the young kid being told the story, and he played the main Jack in the story, right?
Yep.
And he did a great job, I think, because you really never know what you're going to get with kids. So
that's true. I mean, people know with me as well that I'm not very fond on narration in a story, but this worked for me. I can see why they did it that way. It didn't really affect my enjoyment of the story, so I was okay with the narration and Nicholas Farrell doing the narration as well.
Sometimes it's necessary. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I always think that narration slows something down.
Yeah.
But the narration, the way it was written, it was and done. It didn't slow it down at all. It carried everything forward, and created pictures in your mind, which was absolutely what was needed. I mean, with the description of the stockade, for instance.
I think it was very necessary in this story because it is a very visual story, and you are just listening to an audio version of it. So it was pretty necessary. And I thought they very cleverly did it with the what do you call it? The brackets. What do you call the story? By having it start being a story told to somebody by the person that lived through it. You know, that's framing device. That's what they call it, and it actually works very well in this story. I'm not sure if that's how the book is written, but I mean, this was really effective, I think.
Yeah.
There wasn't too much of the narration. It was just right. They didn't go over the top with that. That's the way it should be.
It was a different. The book, as far as I remember, was told from a different character's perspective, or somebody outside of its perspective. This was told by Jim. So
it's first person as opposed to third person.
Third person, yes.
Yeah, but it worked. It worked brilliantly.
Yep.
As a first person narrative, as it were. But yeah, the effects. I liked it. The shooting was excellent. They sounded like muskets. They didn't sound like ordinary rifles. They sounded like muskets and pistols. It was just brilliant. The sounds, as I say, they'd obviously put an awful lot of thought into the soundscape of this, and it really did work. It worked brilliantly.
Yeah.
The music was quite good too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not too intrusive.
Yeah, that's one thing what Big Finish do. When they set out to do something, they get the sound right.
Yeah.
And the cast people in the right roles. And there was nobody out in this cast what I thought they should be doing that. They were ideal for every role they played.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the role of Ben Gunn, as you say, just he's not in it much, but when he does that, he sort of steals the scenes.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Ben Gunn and his little bit of cheese are brilliant. It's brilliant.
But one question why would Dr. Lively have a little bit of cheese in his locket thing?
Well, they used to. They used to carry around things like that because they were not easily available. Because they couldn't pop down the road to Tesco's, and if they were having something, get a bit of parmesan.
I just thought it was a bit convenient that he opened his stuff box up and there was a bit of cheese in it.
Yeah, but they would carry that sort of stuff around.
Oh.
It was an awesome tale.
Yeah, brilliantly told by the Big Finish.
Even Long John Silver's walk with a peg leg.
Mm-hmm.
They even got that. They even got that right.
Mm-hmm.
Clunk. Didn't go over the top with it. It was there, but there's a now Tom Baker is up there with one of the best Long John Silvers, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely magical adaptation.
Yep.
And they've done quite a few classic adaptations as Big Finish, so hopefully in the future delve into some of them.
And the sound effects on the sea making you feel a little seasick.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
I was heaving to and fro. And I nearly shouted, "Avast behind!" Was that something?
Well, is there anything else anybody wants to add? Okay.
Not I can think of.
All right.
Big Finish are just bloody awesome.
Yep. Knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
Well, mateys, we hope to see you tomorrow. We'll release these in order, and we'll check you. We'd love you to check in and watch the rest of this weekend's podcast. This has been the start of Pirate Week, and tomorrow we're reviewing the Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, and we're also reviewing Enlightenment, the Peter Davison Doctor Who episode that is a bit piratey. So stick by your guns, man the bracers, and beware the curse of the black spot or whatever in your. And don't jump ship before your time. I wouldn't do so.
I'm just off to walk the plank now.
All right. Yes. Bye-bye, everyone. Please like, subscribe, and give us a comment below if you like pirate stuff. And thanks for reviewing our Pirate Week.